Good morning, everybody. It's my privilege to share part 2 of this devotion with you today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this phrase or this statement that I've been thinking through. And then we are going to unpack it for a few minutes. The statement is this, is that when we talk about arriving at a destination or a goal in life, it's not how quickly you arrive at that goal that counts. It's how well you arrive at that goal. You see, last time we talked about the difference between a roadmap and a sat-nav navigation system. And we talked about how the roadmap is static and it doesn't change and it doesn't take into account the movable parts. A sat-nav is in real time. And we talked about how in life, the Holy Spirit in our life is a real-time navigation system that leads us and guides us based on the things around us. But if I was to compare a sat-nav in a car to the Holy Spirit in our hearts and in our lives, there are some fundamental differences. You see, when I'm driving from point A to point B and I use my sat-nav, it will instinctively try to go through the path of least resistance. It will try to avoid the traffic jams. It will try to avoid the road accidents. It will try to avoid the things that stop me from getting to my destination as quickly as possible. And whilst we have to remember that the Holy Spirit in our life wants us to arrive at our goal, we need to know that God's leading in our lives is not about the path of least resistance. Sometimes he leads us through valleys, through dark times, so that we can learn, so that we can experience, so that we can cling on to him even more. Even when things happen in our lives and it doesn't necessarily seem that God has caused those things to happen, he still wants us to experience them so that we can learn to lean in to God. The Holy Spirit will never lead us through the path of least resistance, because it's the trials and it's the tribulations that produce character, that produce perseverance. So when we think about arriving at our goal, it's not about how quickly we get there, it's about how well we get there. And there are so many instances in the Bible of men and women who had faith and stood firm in the face of impossible situations, trials, tribulations, difficult moments, and they learnt to trust in the Lord. So my encouragement to you and I is this: let's not be believers that try and navigate the path of least resistance. Let us realise that just like in life, there are ups and there are downs, there are highs and there are lows. And not only is God with us in those moments, he wants to teach us something through those moments. So it's not about how quickly we get there, it's about how well we get there. May God bless you.